What's good, y'all? Hey, coming to you today. Just have some items that I wanted to talk about. So I figured I'd jump on here and shout some people out and just reach out, go over a little bit that's on my mind, share with everybody. Today we received some products from somebody that we really appreciate and respect, our friends over at Cornerstone Customs, who have been doing phenomenal products for us for some time now. In the past year or so, everything that we've had done by them has worn well, has maintained itself. It haven't been let down by anything. The performance, fit, finish, feel has just been fantastic. So we received some things today that we went over. We always like to challenge people and see what they can do for us. Just others that are out there, we reach out to them. They always provide us a good opportunity to bring things to our fellow veterans, share with our fellow veterans, and that's really what it's all about. I don't do this for any type of paid promotion or anything where we're going to get some type of monetary value out of it. We do a lot of this just simply because we want to help out friends and tell others about those who we know, and sharing that quality and some of the stuff, or even some of the things that don't work out well. We like to just put it out there just because we're not slick and we're not trying to get over on anybody. And nobody's got their hands in our pockets or vice versa. With our veteran community, we've got a great recipe for who we put together and what we do while we're together. And there's a lot of slick advertising out there, and just to make sure that our dollars go a long way. Some of us fixed incomes, disabled, or just don't have the finances or the duty anymore to where we can just be spending frivolously, nor should anybody be. But so we like to spend where it counts, pretty much. And in doing so, we spoke to our friends, Mr. Minas over there at Cornerstone Customs Holsters, and once again knocked it out of the park. I threw something at him, which was a little bit of curveball, and of course he threw me back a complete fast pitch, and we're bringing that to you today. But we'll go over that and then some other things. But that being said, with no further hold up, check it out. Anybody knows me will know a little bit about this, so yeah, baby. So this is a new wallet, and I hope you can tell what that pattern is. It's great. It's just phenomenal. It wasn't enough that it had to be camo, but it's got to be camo Louis. A lot of people know me. I'm a little bit extra sometimes about things, and with that, I try to be fun, and I've just always been that guy, super passionate about things, very loyal, a bit outgoing. And in doing so, he happened to mention that he had some things that may work for me when we were talking, and this is what he came up with. So super happy with it. I literally just opened these, so I haven't had a chance to try them out, but maybe we'll have some extended time that we'll go over a review on these a little bit later. But the spring clips, everything that we've always got from him, been fantastic. I've been known to carry a knot per se. Literally, I don't do that anymore. Just being disabled, I don't have the business that I had when I was doing $150 an hour, 15 hours a day, and then 3 or 4 different guys in there. We had to be real careful about carrying that kind of money. So even as somebody that was holding money for a company or doing security for somebody, we did a lot of that kind of stuff. And not having to do that, we can use something a little bit smaller. So I'm going to be going over this and see how well it works. Like I said, I've never been let down by anything he's ever done before. The spring clamps have always been good. All the hardware and fit and finish and comfort has always been phenomenal. You can see everything is nice and smooth, no hard edges. Very well done. As you can see, he's just super consistent in everything that he does. We built a pretty good relationship. I'm, again, a social butterfly, so when I do get with people and they like to spend the time and we get to joking around or whatever, we built a pretty good relationship with this person already, and we definitely recommend that you reach out to him, and if there's something that you want or something that you're looking for, give him a shot. I know that he's still looking for certain forms and things that he's adding, but along with different prints and patterns as well. But don't count him out. He's not the most budget. He's not a brand that buys things from overseas and then rebrands them as his own. He literally did these while we were talking. So obviously this pattern isn't just out there for everybody, but he had it for me and when we were talking. So with family and those who trust us for some of the responsibility that we take in going over things, here's a little something else that he did. So yeah, it's matching IWB holster. Again, spring clamps, everything, anything, as I stated before, anything that he's done for us before has just been phenomenal. And never had any problems losing tools or retention or anything longevity-wise that hasn't held up. Just straight quality. I mean, we really appreciate everything he does. And so when we run into individuals like Mr. Means, we like to make sure that we get the word out for them and, hopefully promote their business. When so many trust us to be who we are and for what we stand on, we don't like it cheapened. We don't like people to mislead us and therefore us having to mislead others that we know. So we test a lot of things, and I've got a ton of content that just doesn't go public. I don't need to do that. I do it for a lot of the people that I know, a lot of people that I love and serve with. We have such diverse community in the veteran recipe that I keep it kind of close, and I could probably do pretty well with sharing a lot of these things publicly. And maybe I should, but again, my biggest point is to reach out and do it for the guys that we love, and they know us and they trust us. And this is one of those brands that we certainly do that for. Slim Fit Holsters, another fantastic person to deal with. Custom, fast turnaround. I'll probably be shooting myself in the foot by saying any of this, because anybody that has used them through us and has shouted us out, we appreciate that, just because we like to know that we're sharing their quality to everybody else. The turnarounds are phenomenal compared to anybody else, and if it makes a wait a little bit longer or whatever, we're all right with that, because we appreciate those people, especially small business around here. And as I stated, with the diversity that we have as veterans, I'm involved with so many things. It's just it's nice to be thought of and considered when people are out there looking, no matter who our friends are. So it's along with a lot of the politics that are going on now. Obviously, a lot of the stuff has been super amplified and really revved up. When I was serving, we had friends that were based in everything. We had friends that were of all races, all colors, all creeds, and none of that really mattered to us. The only thing that mattered was if somebody wronged you, they wronged you specifically, and you dealt with it. And if they did something correct to you, or their loyalty was there, then you promoted that and you amplified that to be something a lot better in your friendship or your trust, so on and so forth. So, we had friends that were. I grew up in a community where there was people that were gay in my family, and in that, I was a lot more comfortable in talking to people out there. So when we actually had some times that were a little bit dark in the military, where they had the don't seek, don't tell, anything like that, and it was very unfortunate. Because people had to hide who they were. Now, we didn't really look at those people as any different. The only thing that was different about them per se was if they were willing to share that with us. And that's a hard thing. That's a hard thing to open up to and trust other people with. And if you can't trust the person to the right and left of you, you certainly don't want to trust them with the inside either. So in doing that, a lot of my friends who weren't quite comfortable with that, because again, like I said, I grew up around it, so I knew the community well, and I was very comfortable coming back home per se, and or being out traveling and seeing some of those family members and being out with them. Some of my friends would go, "Hey, don't bring that up. That's kind of taboo," or they don't want to think about it. It doesn't make them any different. Basically, if you get to know somebody, they don't have different interests. It's just one perspective that may be different. So when somebody online is telling you that they can look at your picture and tell who you are, or because you might have a like or a dislike to a certain thing that's out there now that's super touchy and sensitive, they're going to claim that whatever they stereotype you as is like this big orb that you can't get in or out of, and that's just who you are. And that's the biggest crock of shit in the world, because anybody that served with us and knew who we were as individuals knew that there was a ton of diversity involved in that. I served in places where, on numerous occasions, and I won't go into the regions, it's not hard to figure out, but there were some places where the people just did not like people of color. And those are my brothers and sisters, and we'd be out doing what we were, and we'd be assaulted and attacked, and we had some international incidents that occurred, and I fought for my brothers, and sometimes they didn't even fight. They'd get into it, and I'd go to break it up, and my idea of breaking it up usually meant mopping the place up with people, and that's super unfortunate. What a terrible way to have to involve with people when there's so many beautiful people out in those communities that you really build strong friendships with and kinship with, because we all have things in common. It doesn't matter where we're at. We're still humans, and we still think very similar in a lot of ways. Those who sit back and claim that military being in a region is causing the problems, whatever, that's just ignorant. That doesn't make sense whatsoever. A lot of these regions that are having problems had those problems long before America. And America's youngest kid on the block. Claiming that we're the ones that are responsible for those things is just silly. So if you want to claim something to history, make sure you don't cut that history off just where it meets your need. Don't be convenient with it. Go all the way back with it and see everything that's occurred. Whether it's oppression, whatever. Just be honest. If it's equality, if people are trying to seek equality, don't let the presumption of equality actually be covered up by you wanting to be above other people. We see that too much. It's not equality they want. They don't want to be like you. They want to be above you. They want to oppress. They want to marginalize you, whatever. It's unacceptable. I don't care who you are. I don't care what you're doing. If you're a terrible person, you're a terrible person. You need to be dealt with. Race, color, creed doesn't matter. Sexual, whatever. If you're doing things to kids, you're a bad human being. You're a bad human being. There's no sexuality involved with kids. It's okay. I don't want to hear anything about that. I'm not going to get political about it or otherwise. What comes from that is terrible, and it should be terrible. That being said, treat people right. Treat people correctly. So, again, I get off on tangents. I know I'm verbose, wordsmith. I get all this because of just who I am publicly and socially. I get that. But again, we keep a lot of these things super close to us, and we're very loyal about how we maintain those relationships, no matter who they are. So if you're laying claim to others, pretending that you know who they are or what they're about simply because of the way they look or the way they voted or where they eat, that's ignorant. If you can't control your own ability to govern what goes in your mouth, and you're overweight, do you really have a right to be out there telling somebody about their virtues on what they should be doing? And we're not picking on anybody. We're just saying that if there's a time where something needs attention, especially your attention, let it be a mirror. Let that mirror talk to you first before you're demanding of others. Nobody out here owes you anything. Not a damn person. If you have a relationship with somebody where you get into some type of situation where there's a financial commitment or something along those lines, then yeah, okay, if they might owe you, they might owe you. But somebody else, no. If somebody's harmed someone somewhere down the road, that's not on anybody else. Because if you can do that with them, they can do that with you. Don't forget about that part. That being said, again, maintain these loyal relationships. We share stuff like this because it's just the right thing to do. We don't have to do this for money. We don't have to do those things. And for those who are doing it, knock it out of the park, man. We love that. We love that this is a place of opportunity, as we know, because we've been overseas. We've been to some of those places. We know that opportunity is hard to come by. Not only is it hard to come by, but some of those places, you can be downright killed for some of those opportunities that people take for granted here. People tell you, it's my right to... No, your rights are your rights. The rights are written out. Man's rights, God's rights, there's some differences in there, and you need to know what they are. Pretending that you know what a law is because you base it off of how your feelings are, that's just silly. Your feelings don't tell anything about the law. The law is the law. And we know that is putrid in its own sense. I mean, there's people out there that are manipulating law and what's called justice, and it's not justice, it's unjust. So again, don't assume because of who we are, especially the people in the military that go serve. We may not like those above us in what they're actually portraying in political, governmental, whatever positions to where they feel a certain way. We may not feel the same way. But we chose to fight, and we swore that oath. And we're going to go fight and do what we have to do. With all that, there are people over in Eastern Europe right now. And things are already happening. You may not be hearing about them, but things are already happening. A lot of people are gone. A lot more people are going to be going away. Keep everybody close to your heart. Keep them in prayer if you believe in that. Keep them in positivity. For a lot of the people that sit around here and have those comforts, they don't realize what it takes to have skin in the game. And that's unfortunate. Because if you just think that all this stuff just happens, you don't want to be someplace where it doesn't. You can't imagine what's taken from you overseas. And acting like you know when you've never served a day in your life or given something above self to anything more than self. You're not over there. You don't determine how or what's going on over there. You're not the one that's embracing somebody or holding them while they're crying or lost or dying, making friends, building relationships. You have no idea what that is over there. So to pretend and to lay claim that you know better what's happening in these war zones and what's right or wrong is just, it's madness. It's silly. Again, you've got plenty of time to be online with yourself and judging yourself for that. So through that, please just keep a lot of the military up in your thoughts and prayers, and same with those going through it. We have some family members right now that are going through really bad health situations. One of them COVID, and it's very unfortunate. We don't know if they're going to pull out or not. Again, doesn't matter what my beliefs are. I never believed that this wasn't true, but I do have the rest of my feelings on some of the other stuff, and that's not pertinent to you. To claim that my choices is silly if it's truly science you're believing in, because there's science that tells you how some of that works. That being said, let's not get anecdotal, let's not get political, let's not be fed or programmed our opinions. Let's just believe what we believe, and that's good enough. And let's remember that the ones that are out there hurting don't hurt less because they agree with you. They don't hurt more because they disagree with you. It's not better if somebody that didn't have your same opinion is dying. Death is terrible. It sucks for anyone. So when we go through these things, be it war or disease or health, age, nothing is better. Nothing is better because it meets some false virtue strike with you. It's just crazy to even go through. We need to be better humans. That's all. We just need to be better humans to one another. So in doing so, like I said, we like to bring stuff like this to you guys. Bring it out, get some truth behind it. Holler at those people like the 42 Stitches and Adam Brox and John Nomikos Knives, and just people that we know are great people at what they do, and they provide service that you can count on, and they've built these loyal followings because of who they are. Much like many of my friends that, thank God, they're still around. As much as I challenged a lot, taking them out and trying to drown them in the waves or jump off mountains or out of things or over, or God only knows. I don't know why they're still around, but man, I sure am thankful because they're a lot of kick-ass human beings. So promote what you can that's better. Have we not had enough of less? Have we not had enough of poison? Is going back to the same well that's full of piss and shit, is that okay? Is there nourishment in that? There's not. Let's promote things that are right and stop giving these people our money. Stop making them wealthy. Stop allowing these giant media just snake pits of despair and disaster take control of your mind and run you up and down these crazy peaks and valleys that are harmful to us socially, mentally, spiritually. It's terrible. We're way better putting our hand in somebody else's hand or our arm around somebody's shoulder and saying, yes, sister, yes, brother, bless you, be well, whatever. Hey, I might not understand you because we can't understand everything that somebody else goes through. We're not them, right? So saying, oh, I understand or I know, you don't know anything about somebody else. And you sure can't tell from a picture because I wear chops that I'm something, that I'm, whatever, some, Viking pillager. That's crazy talk. That's crazy talk. And you see it out there. And, I had a situation where somebody had made a comment and dropped the R word on me once in one of my interactions on social media. What a lot of people don't understand is when I talk to them, it's not because I'm trying to get a rise out of them, out of me disagreeing with them. It's It's me trying to say, hey, listen to what you're saying. Like, literally, the things that are going in your ear are coming right back out of your mouth. Listen to that. You're better than that. You're more valuable than that. Those people should not have their hooks and strings in you. Because a free life is a better life for anyone. And we want that for everybody. That being said, we had somebody drop the R word on me and claim to know me. You know, they could tell who I was. And some of my friends didn't take too well to that. So a couple of those individuals were involved in some pretty serious stuff, and they cleared it up quick. But God bless all. Be well. We'll talk to you later. Thanks for tuning in.